Today I am going to start off with mending, I guess. I'm going to go down and get it. Whoop. You may remember me talking in the first episode about the monster knee patch, and you may also remember me showing you that my son had put a hole in the other knee as well. Well, I've fixed that now. This is a very, very boring patch. Nowhere near as exciting as the monster knee. It's just a piece of denim with a little bit of reinforcing thread. Can you see that? Is that a good angle? Over the top. And then we discovered another pair of trousers which had also gone up the knee. Oh, I'm showing you the wrong side, that's no good. There we go. Just another slightly more exciting fabric this time with reinforcing stitching over the top. And the reason I wanted to show you this, because otherwise it's not very interesting, and that's the problem with Make Do and Mend podcast or vlogs, is that actually a lot of mending isn't very exciting. But this is a bit more exciting. So this is kind of my take here on the Boro and Sashiko Japanese style of mending, which is using decorative stitches on top of patches to mend fabrics. And you should definitely look up Sashiko. I'll put a link in the show notes to the correct name if you get a chance, because there are some really beautiful garments out there which have been made more beautiful by the ways in which people have used this particular style of often running stitch, what we would call a running stitch, to effectively embroider on new layers of material to patch old garments. It's really, really beautiful. So that's what I've been doing mending wise. What have I been doing knitting? Well, I've finished the baby surprise jacket. I'm really impressed. I'm afraid that I did sew it up before I thought about recording this video, because really what I should have done is shown you it in all of its glorious, weird and wonderful undulating form and then folded it to show you, but unfortunately I did not, so here it is. It's a shame actually you can't really see on this screen just how rich this green is. It looks quite kind of bluey and washed out on the monitor, but actually this is quite kind of a rich grassy green in places, but there you go. Baby jacket all gorgeously sewn up, waiting for buttons. I'll be going to the Yarndale Knitting and Stitching Show in Skipton this coming weekend, and I'll be taking that with me to try and get some buttons for that, so that's pretty exciting. So a finished project means a new project has started, which I'll go and get now. Whoop. This is my new project. I'll try and put it up in a way which shows you the kind of the shape of it a bit better. Again, this is a really gorgeous green colour, which is not coming out a gorgeous green colour on the screen, so I'm sorry about that. But here it is. I have a friend who is going to be giving birth in October, two friends giving birth in October, and I've already knitted one baby vest for one of them, and this is going to be a little jumper for the other. Over here there'll be sort of there's three buttonholes, and this will be a button-up closure, because top tip for anybody knitting anything for babies, they have much bigger heads than you think. Much bigger heads in proportion to their bodies than you think they're going to, so you need something with a neck which you can adjust by putting buttons on it. Or have you ever seen those kind of envelope style necks which kind of pop out a bit more on baby greys and things? That's why they have them, because babies' heads are massive. So this is the Oatmeal Sweater by Sarah Cook. I'm knitting it up in a sort of a DK weight green yarn. I would love to be able to tell you what this yarn is, but a friend of mine brought it back from America a long time ago. I've lost the ball band. I know that it's green and that it's superwash and that it's DK. I'm hoping I've got enough of it. I'm not certain. I probably do. And when that's finished, that will again be more buttons. I have a lot of buttons to get at the moment. So there's that. So that's what I've been mending, and that's what I've been knitting. Lots of green. I'm knitting a lot of green things at the moment. I'm sort of looking forward to when this kind of round of baby stuff is over and done with, and I can pick out something to knit that's not green. I mean, I do like green, but I probably don't like green as much as this amount of green knitting implies. So there we go. and that's the oatmeal sweater and the baby surprise jacket. So I haven't, apart from those little bits I've shown you, I haven't actually been doing a whole lot of knitting recently and a whole lot of mending, and partly that's the repetitive strain injury in my shoulder from doing too much knitting that I mentioned the other day, and partly it is because it is September and it is harvest time and the garden is going wild, and you know, we're just sort of barely keeping up with the produce that we're getting, even though we didn't do a veg patch this year. That's what I kind of want to stress, is there are so many types of fruit bushes and fruit trees that if you've got the space and you can plant them, then even if you have a year like we've just had where we couldn't do anything in the garden, even then we are still putting up absolutely tons and tons of stuff. So what have I got here? This is just one example of what we've been doing this week. This piece of kind of red honey coloured gorgeousness, this is a jar of crabapple jelly. I made 9 or 10 of these I think so far. We've done 7 jars of damson jam. We'll probably end up doing around about 20 damson jams, and I've also done 3 litres of rosehip and blackberry cordial, and 2.5 litres or 3 litres of damson gin, which I think I've spoken about on other episodes. So we're still going, we're still kind of churning through it all. We've just picked our apples, not crab apples, they've just gone, but we've just started picking from our Bramley apple tree. I think they seem to be ready a little bit early this year. So we've got absolutely bags and bags of those that we're working out what to do with them. We are going to experiment, I think, with making apple juice / cider. I should probably clarify for any Americans watching, when I say cider, cider is what we call fermented apple juice. It's alcoholic. I think in America there's a difference between hard cider, which is alcoholic, and cider, which isn't. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments below if you understand the difference, but I think there is a difference. So, in anticipation of this, I bought something. So when I started this vlog, I didn't want it to be a vlog where I was constantly showing you gorgeous yarns or things that I was buying, because for me, the way that we're trying to live our lives is not about buying loads and loads of stuff. It's about trying to love what we have and make the most of it, really. But I have bought something. So one of the problems that we've had with our apple harvest in the past is that it is quite hard to process it all. Not so much the crab apples, but the normal apples. And I think I discovered this the very first year when I tried to make apple puree or apple sauce or whatever. And I realised just how long it takes with a knife and a chopping board to peel and core kilos and kilos of apples. I mean, we get like 20, 30, 40 kilos of apples, you know, and I just don't have the time to stand there, particularly not with young children and a job. I just don't have the time to stand there peeling apples for 8 hours a day. So I have a cunning plan. I have bought myself a gadget. And I've bought myself this gadget because I think that owning it will mean that we get more out of our apple harvest. It costs about £20 with postage. I don't know if it works yet, so this isn't a promotion. I'll come back and tell you if it does work. But it's this kind of hand crank tool that you put on your countertop. You put an apple in, you screw the apple round, or rotate the apple round, and it simultaneously peels it and cores it, and you probably can't see very well here, but it's actually also slicing it for you. And so I thought this would be two things. I thought, firstly, if I'm doing this, then it's going to mean it takes a lot less time to peel and core all the apples, because it looks like you just slot it in and then wind it round and boom, seconds you're done, which is great. If we do it outside, we can feed the apple peelings to the chickens. Excellent. But the other reason I thought this would be good was because this looks both... there's a good picture there. It looks both simple... There's another picture there. It looks both simple and fun, the sort of fun that a 3-year-old might think was a pretty good idea. And so then I thought, well, if I can get my 3-year-old winding and peeling these apples, that would be brilliant, because then I'll have more time to do all of the other stuff that I need to do around apple preserving, you know, and he can get on with that. So yeah, I'll report back on how that works and how things go with our apple harvest. And now I've done 2 little kind of videos for you. I've done a short video talking about our chickens, which I'll flip over to very shortly. And then after that, we're going to have a short video with me and Josh showing you our herb garden. So, stay tuned. Hi everybody, just wanted to show you our chicken pen. So this is the house that we've got. This is a house that's built for 16 chickens and we only have 4. We wanted to make sure that they had plenty of space per chicken, and also we wanted to give ourselves some options in case, you know, we wanted to increase our flock at any point. At least now we don't have to buy another house. And really the difference in price between the houses for 4 and the houses for 16 was sufficiently small. We thought it was worth getting the bigger house. So this is our pen as well, that you can just see behind, with our hazel trees in it. There's chicken wire around the hazel trees and around their roots to stop the hens killing them and scratching them up, but otherwise this is a 4 metre by 3.5 metre pen. We don't let them free range at the moment because this pen's quite far away from our house and there are foxes nesting kind of all around here, so we have to be quite careful, but we do intend to build a chicken tractor and get them on the vegetable patch later on. I'll just take you around, you can see a bit more of the pen. We chose to buy the galvanised steel drinkers and feeders because the people that we were getting some advice about chickens off said that they had spent, what was it Josh, £120 on plastic feeders?
Yeah, that sounds like hyperbole to me, but...
Fair enough. Well, let me just go a little bit further down. So there you can see the chickens. I'll take you inside. They'll probably all run away now. There we go. And I've just put a little bit of straw in here, not a full bale, probably maybe a quarter of a bale so far, because we're intending on doing a deep litter bed method to get these chickens composting and to give them lots of fresh material to scratch around and reduce parasites and disease, all that sort of good stuff.
I'm just going to squash these apples.
Yeah, good idea. Our son has been chucking apples in the chicken run. And that's it. So, there we go. Hello chickens. We'll speak to you later. Cool, so that was our chickens, and now over to Josh talking about our herb garden. Enjoy. Hi, I'm behind the camera, and in front of the camera is my partner Josh, who's going to talk you through what we've been doing with our herb garden. Over to you, Josh.
Hi everyone. So we're going to talk to you about our herb beds, which is the first bit of sort of food stuff that we put in when we moved in here. If you point the camera at it. So this used to be just turf, and we had a digger digging a hole in our garden, so we got them to scrape the turf off for this bed, saving us a lot of work digging it. And we put these, I don't know if you can see our house is there, so we put the herbs in as close as possible to the house so that it was just a quick dash out to get them if we wanted them. We planted lots. We've got a bay tree here, some marjoram, oregano, oh, there's some thyme just clinging on in between as well. Our thyme just seems to die every time. I'm not sure why that is. Answers on a postcard. We've also got...
Is that a poppy or some yarrow over there?
Yeah, there is a poppy. And no, that's yarrow. It is yarrow. But you can't... Well, I don't know. You probably use yarrow for medicinal stuff, but we don't use it for cooking.
Some chives here.
Yes,
and
there's
some
chives
lavender
everywhere. Some lavender, yeah. Don't use lavender for cooking. This is a curry plant, this silver thing here. Again, you can't really use it for cooking despite the name, but it is quite nice. My favourite herbs are here. This is some broadleaf sage, yum yum yum, and lovage, which is a much overlooked herb, very good for fish dishes, and we use it with blue cheese, blue cheese sauce with chicken, which is very nice. Over here we have some more sage. We have some what is this stuff called?
Bloody dock.
Yeah, sorrel is what I'm trying to say. It's all gone to seed, so you can't really tell what it is. It's a nice sort of broad-leafed plant you can put in salads.
This is our English lavender, and I've been harvesting this at the moment to put sprigs of it in the nest boxes for the chickens, because it deters parasites and makes them very relaxed.
Down here is the thyme graveyard, where 3 different thyme plants have died.
Maybe if we weeded it, it might help.
No, they died much quicker than that. And this is our fennel, another favourite, really good with fish. And you can use the seeds as well, actually, which we never do, but you can take them off and dry them out, and the seeds are actually nicer than the leaves in some ways.
There's some normal sorrel down here, isn't there?
Yes, this is the normal sorrel here, these big leaves. But they do get a lot bigger. And here's our rosemary. No garden should be without rosemary, obviously, and we use it constantly.
I think that's probably it, because I can hear a baby that's not very happy about us being out in the herb garden without her.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's a very quick whistle-stop tour of our herb garden. Currently got quite a lot of weeds in it, but yeah, we use this probably every day, I would say, for something or other. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Herb garden done. I love our herb garden. It's just so brilliant having all of that abundance there to use for cooking or whatever you need it to at any time. And at some point we really need to get better at drying and storing our herbs over winter. I mean, we're brilliant at using them when they're all there and lush and fabulous, but we need to be coming up with ideas for how to store them in the winter months when the plants aren't really growing. Anyway, so that's it. That's what I've been making and mending and knitting, and our garden is going wild, which is just how I love it. And hopefully next time I will be able to talk to you a bit about lasagna gardening, because the other thing we've been doing a lot of is getting out into the garden and trying lasagna gardening, which we've not done before. So stay tuned and see you next week. Bye.